Hey friends, welcome back to another video. My name is Lefebvre, and today I'm going to show you how I painted this very loose kind of abstract lilac painting. So let's jump in. Hey everyone, before we jump into today's video, I just wanted to make an announcement that I am going to be teaching my second watercolor retreat with Utrecht, but this time in Spain, and it's happening at the end of this year from September 15th to the 22nd. Join me for a week-long amazing retreat as we stay at a serene 5-acre private estate surrounded by vibrant gardens and desert flora, complete with a refreshing pool and peaceful terraces for relaxation. And not to mention a week full of watercolor. This retreat is going to be geared to all skill levels, so if you're a beginner, don't worry. I'm going to be helping you with the absolute basics, but if you've been painting for a few years, we're going to be developing your style and working on those pesky struggles you might be having with watercolor. The retreat also includes amazing day trips as well as a private chef that is going to be absolutely incredible. So if you're interested, check out the link for more details, photos, and there's only 16 spots available. So if you're interested, click the link for all the details, more photos. It's going to be absolutely incredible and I hope you can join me. But for now, let's jump into our tutorial. Okay friends, so today I want to paint very loosely. I want to kind of just go with the flow and have fun, try different techniques and just, I don't know, play today. And I'm itching for spring like I'm sure so many of us are. So I want to kind of paint some lilac inspiration, loose floral abstractness. And I'm gonna just try a bunch of techniques. I'm gonna be so loose with it. Really, I don't have an idea, haven't tried this yet, but I just really want to play around and experiment today. So one of the first things I want to do is I want to just like wet up my paper. And I'm going to take a large brush. I'm using my Etcher watercolor block. I have this large size 12 brush. I'm going to grab whatever purples I have in here. And I'm just going to kind of place it all over my paper. I don't know if this is going to work out. Okay. I want it to be like a really loose kind of background. I sprayed my paper down to get a little bit more wetness in there. I'm going to grab some pink. And I'm just going to play around today. I want to keep it so loose and fun, low pressure, okay? Throwing in different purples there. Then I'm going to grab this again, see if I can move these edges a bit. See how it's a little bit more loose. I'm gonna take I'm gonna take this color right to the edge of the paper, and I sprayed that so we can have some really loose edges. I want this really watercolory background, and I might add some green down here so we can get some of the greenery of the lilacs. Lilac. I'm gonna do like a bluish color mixture. I have a little bit of olive green here and then some phthalo blue, and I'm gonna just kind of throw that in down here. I know you can't really hard. It's like I made the letter F there. All right, I'm gonna grab a little bit more olive green, like so. And I just washed off my brush and I'm just moving the color around now. Okay. I'm going to take a little bit more of my purple, maybe do some little dots, kind of like the shape, not the shape of lilacs. It's a little bit more, it's drier up here, but just kind of tapping in some shapes here while it's still wet. This part is pretty dry up here. So lilacs are kind of like cone-shaped flowers, right? Like long stalks, cone shapes. So I'm just trying to do some faded, maybe a little bit of pink. Faded versions of it, but not too much. Okay, so it's pretty watery. I'm gonna tilt my paper a bit and just let it kind of move. And then I think I'm gonna let it dry, and then we're gonna do some more detailed strokes on top. Okay, so let's let this completely dry. Okay, so now that it's dry, I'm going to add some more sharper lilacs over top. So not necessarily following these ones that I did. I want those to be kind of like blurred in the background. And the way I like to create lilacs are by picking up my color. So I'm going to use some of the purple here. And I'm going to change it up within the painting, but I take my brush and I put it upside down like this to get this kind of like upside down teardrop shape. And I'm just going to kind of use my brush like so to create dots around. Now I'm going to try and leave a little bit of white space in between. I'm going to add some more color. If it feels easier to kind of, you know, flip your brush around and do it like this, whatever's better for your hand, you can do. I just tend to I like to go upside down like this. It's just what's most comfortable for me. And I'm just going to create these shapes of these petals, and they can all kind of go around, and you can do like little flowers within. You could even just use the tip of your brush and kind of like scribble. Like so. I'm gonna add a little bit more pink in mine, just so I can kind of go back and forth with some color. That, just moving my brush around, really not focusing too much on it being detailed or, you know, sharp, realistic looking. Just, I want it to be kind of messy like this. You can have some petals that are a little bit disconnected. Might even add a little bit of blue in there. You can even do like draw around petals. So you could draw petals out like this and then just fill in behind it. So you have some that are kind of sticking out. It's negative painting where you draw around the object, then shade around that. And because this is loose and a little bit more on the abstract side, you can go either way. Okay? Just kind of have fun and, I don't know, just create blobs. So I want it to be a little bit more dense at the bottom. So I'm just really kind of just scribbling here. And I do want the greenery to start coming out right where the greenery is here. So I am trying to make this nice and kind of fluffy looking towards the bottom. Again, trying to create some negative painting just by going around creating those petal shapes. Then, actually, I don't know if I love the negative painting for that. Then what I'm going to do, actually, I want a couple more up here, is I'm going to grab my bigger brush and I'm going to start doing the leaves. And I want the leaves to kind of blend and bleed into the petals down here a bit more. So I want them to kind of come up. And I'm going to do these big, chunky kind of leaves at the bottom here. Really loose leaves. Like so. And then as it's closer to the flowers, I'm going to grab a darker green and I'm going to start placing in a bit of a darker green so we can get a bit of a shadow happening there. Right up by the tip. There we go. Okay. Then I am going to take a little bit of like my pinkish purple and I am going to try and draw like a little bit of a stem kind of going through. A lot of these are already dry. I would have liked to do it a bit more if it was wet, like having the stem kind of bleed, but just in some of those spaces where you get a little bit of that negative space, just to put in a little bit of line work. And then I'm going to have a little bit of brown. I'm going to have it kind of coming out the bottom here. Like that. Okay, now I want to do another one kind of coming out this way. This one, I want it to be a bit warmer. I'm going to grab a little bit more ultramarine, I think. And again, I'm just brushes upside down. And I'm just creating these loose kind of petals. And you can mix it and kind of go back in with the purple and the blue. Add a little bit of pink in there. Just kind of scribble. Maybe a bit more of this lilac or lavender color too. I love this lavender. It's a bit more opaque as well. The lavender paint has white in it, so it just brings a nice kind of contrast. Like that. Maybe a little bit of pink. I want to do a little bit more contrast between these two. So I'm going to make it actually darker on this side, going around this lilac to make this one kind of pop out a bit more. So I'm just giving a little bit more contrast by making it darker. Like that. And then it can be lighter on this side. Really, I'm just tapping my brush and kind of scribbling. So like that. And then again, I'm going to, actually before I do the leaves, I'm just going to grab a bit more and just do a little bit of the stem kind of coming down through. Maybe some extra little buds like that. And then grab my green. I'm doing a lighter wash of green this time. Because this is pretty dark. I'm gonna grab a little bit of pink. That's a bit too much pink. Blend it out a bit. Kind of throw it in there a bit. Then grab that dark green and just place it mostly at the base of some of these leaves. Like that. You can even have a little bit of the green peeking out the top here. I don't know if I like that. Maybe I'll just kind of take my paper towel, mop it up, and just kind of make it a little bit lighter. Don't think I like the green there. Oh well. Just trying to blend it out a bit. That, and then grab our brown, have the stem kind of this one. Grab a little bit of indigo to make it a bit darker. Extra little stems like that. But I also kind of want just a little bit more looseness to it. I'm going to spray like that. I don't want it so, what's it called? Detailed and structured. I want it to be a bit more loose and kind of watery, out of focus. Okay, so there's two, and I kind of want to just do another one up here. We're going to make it a little bit smaller though. Maybe it could even be a bit more like sparse too, where it's not as, that's a bit too blue. We can have a bit more of the stem. It's like a really loose, I can't think of words, guys. Here. It's hard to kind of just paint as fast as you can and go with the flow and describe what you're doing at the same time. It's very difficult, okay? Okay, so there's going to be a little bit more white space to this one. I am going to make it a little bit darker, again, like we did over here, around this lilac, so this one really kind of stands out in the middle. So again, just painting around some of those petals that we've already done there. Just kind of helps it. You can even draw petals just with the tip of your brush. Just, I don't know, experiment a little bit. Gonna have a little bit more down here. Just a bit. Then I'm gonna grab a little bit of the pink, and I'm just gonna do our stem kind of going through, little stems connecting. Like that. I'm gonna grab that brown and have that other stem kind of coming down this way. And then maybe a little bit more green, just kind of popping up the bottom here. Like so. Bit of our darker green again. Any place where I want to add a little bit more depth and shadow, so if like a leaf is under another leaf, I'll add shadow there. So this leaf is behind this leaf on top. I'm going to make it a little bit darker. And you can, if you want, kind of do some line work on the leaves, maybe. I don't know. Really just playing around with the style here. I like it, but I feel like the one thing that's missing from this piece is a little bit of splatter. Like that. I don't know, I really like that. That was a lot of fun. Like, you could always do, I don't know, I kind of want to just add a couple more that are like out of focus. So I just wet with the spray bottle just to give it a little bit, I don't know. You know, one of those questions that I get a lot is, how do you know when to stop? And I haven't figured that out yet. Because sometimes it's just so fun, you don't want to stop. So I feel like if you're having fun with it, don't stop. If you're painting it for, you know, like a specific reason or someone, and you're selling it, maybe stop. But if you're having fun, just keep going. But yeah, I really like that. So there is our beautiful spring lilac painting. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you liked it and I hope you learned something. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and follow me on all my other platforms for tons more content. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.